Hey y'all, welcome back to Andy's Little Homestead. Today, we're gonna cut a massive beam for my buddy's barn. My buddy Ben got up with me and he said, hey man, I'm building an addition on my barn, but I wanna do some bougie white girl shit. What can you do for me? I said, oh, I got you. So I wandered out into the woods and cut down this big old maple. So we're gonna cut it into a beam. We're also gonna cut the rafters for him off of this white pine we got. So let's get her fired up and get to work. Let me back up. We're not gonna start just yet because I want to show y'all something. I walked up here and looked in my fuel filter and I was like, that color ain't right. And I had just put about 100 gallons into the tank. And it's best that I didn't start it right away because that part's fuel. That's all water. Which is, I guess, the whole point of having the clear fuel bowl on there. So we're gonna drain it out, then we're gonna start it up. Much better. Give her a little bit of the old glow plug in a can and let her wobble. Well, that's a problem. As I was saying, we're gonna steal this battery out of the tractor and let her wobble. No way, hold on. I think I got another one. Maybe you work. Why does it smell like diesel fuel over here? Oh, I forgot I gotta turn the fuel on from the governor. That would help. For anybody who's worried about the emissions of this thing, don't worry, it uses less in a lifetime than one single private jet ride to a summit of world leaders to talk about making the planet not hotter. And to help me out today, we've got Jack, and Jack's kind of funny looking, but he's a good worker, and whenever he doesn't cooperate, I just knock his teeth out. Good, it's not that hard. The nice thing about having Jack here around is that he gets to do all the little shit work that I don't feel like doing, like sealing the ends of logs. You could just use your hair to brush that on if you wanted to, you hippie. Hell no. Now we get the rest of this big one onto there. All right, so we got this one set up on here. One thing you may notice is down at that end, I put a couple shims in because it's 21 inches wide at this side and 15 down there. So I wanted to kind of cock it in so that my cut's going straight through. If I were to just leave it to where the head blocks were all up against the one side of the log, what would end up happening is that I'd take a big chunk off of that end and I'd barely shave this end. It's a real fine balance that I found, but it definitely makes a big difference in squeezing the most out of the log. So my first two cuts, I'm gonna have the shims in, and then the second two, I'm gonna have it squared off sitting into the corner here, and I won't need to worry about it. So let's go ahead and make our cut. All right, well, we were doing good, but that's not supposed to be like that. Luckily, the good Lord blessed us with a welder and enough sense to, you know, weld. So we'll get this fixed real quick. Remember, folks, whenever you're welding, it's important to insulate the surrounding area with piles of nice dry sawdust so that you prevent negative heat transfer, thermodisplace, yeah. Good to go. And I didn't light the sawmill on fire like I did that one time.
Did I do that?
Maybe. Fortunately for us, this is an easy fix. Y'all may or may not believe this, but things only seem to break when I turn the camera on. I've milled thousands of board feet without anything breaking, and yet here we are. This little guy was attached to the wobble doofer, and I don't think she's any good anymore, but I don't think it was load bearing in any kind of way. So all right, we got everything back together. We'll go ahead and get it all nice and lubrified before we go. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but somebody had told me in the comments, and I've been doing it ever since. Make sure you put your grease fitting towards the drive shaft itself. That way you'll be able to grease it while it's in place. So in a fun twist of fate, we got a call from, you know, being on the fire department, and I was gone the rest of yesterday. So we're back on it again, putting the drive shaft back on. Hopefully it didn't screw anything up too bad. We kind of left in a hurry. Jack, did you ever find your teeth? All right, so I didn't plan on taking this route today, but after putting it all back together and then attempting our first cut, blade kept walking. Then we went down the rabbit hole. We felt a different kind of noise that I wasn't sure about, and now we're gonna try and take the double cardan out of the equation. Those are brand new U-joints, but there is some springs and mechanical crap in the middle there that, well, I don't really know how it works, but it can't be a problem if it doesn't exist anymore. The only problem with that, I gotta move that 2,500 pound power unit like 3 inches that way. So we're gonna let her wobble. But of course now I got to permanently modify the drive shaft itself and like the yoke on the end of it and the flange yoke that goes on the mill side. So there's no turning back from here. So in my infinite ability to lose, I managed to lose a little nut that goes on there. I have no idea where it is. We've got 3 hours of sunlight left, and this beam has to get to my buddy tomorrow because the Skytrack that he rented to put it in place goes up Tuesday. So no pressure or anything. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this grinder wheel, it's threaded on the inside, and I'm gonna beat the hell out of it and then use what's left to hold this in place. It'll probably work, or it might fly off and kill us, but we're on a time crunch here. Well, we managed to crack it, so that's fun. Well, she'll fit now. So with some definitely sketchy modification that I'm almost positive threw everything out of balance, we've eliminated our problem. Let's get this beam done. There's a small chance that we'll destroy the end of the rolling paper building, but we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. After all that, we finally got this beautiful beam done. It's a true 6x12 solid maple. And I do believe that it'll hold quite a bit of weight on my buddy's barn. We did have a couple other little issues that I didn't put on camera. I'll be honest, it was pretty dang frustrating, but we got it done. I'm gonna have to put a good sharpen on all the teeth before we can get the rafters done, but y'all pretty much get the picture. I didn't really plan on this video going the direction that it did, but here we are. Beam's done. We'll get it delivered tomorrow. We'll be in good shape. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed and I hope you learned something. I love you and God bless.
You know how long it's taking me to get this?
Way too long, which is exactly what it is. You're gonna get caught up in the blade and get scalped. It'll only happen once.